are you today? I just got back from church, and well, a lot of you probably don't know, but if you know me well enough, you do know that the last 2 years I've been through a lot in my life, and I've been through a lot in my life in the last 2 years, and it's been a really hard battle. You know, I started preaching when I was 20, but the devil come in and kind of pretty much drained me for everything. You know, I was one that built myself up on faith. You know, I said I had faith that could move mountains. I had faith that could raise the dead, and but all that was tested and through the fire of my faith. You know, like I was preaching that one, and it was oddly enough my first message back on here was the trial of your faith being more precious than gold. Though tried with fire, you know, and that was my. And tonight at church, I went, and I didn't think I'd get done in time to go, but I ended up going, and something just told me I had to go tonight, and I had to go where I did. And at the very beginning, God told me that I was going to be the beginner of service tonight, and I just waited to almost the very end, and you know, I just almost going to sit there, wasn't going to do nothing. They asked for preachers to come up and get in a line and not preach, but pray for people. And I didn't even feel like getting up and doing that, but finally, I finally went up, and I said that. Well, actually, first, what had happened, I'll try to get this done right. First, what happened was the service was about ready to close, and they was giving final testimonies and stuff. And some woman got up, and I can't remember which woman requested, but asked that Sister Brenda Saints do it again, or God would do it again, or something like that. And she sung it, and finally I still let people, you know, in myself, I was like, God, I just ain't going to try to stand up, and I'm not going to try to say nothing. But God kept on dealing with me, and I almost waited to almost the very end. And I said, you know, that song is my testimony. You know, a lot of you know what I've been through the last 2 years, and it was a huge battle. But you know, God knows my heart, and God knows each and everything. And you know, I used to get preached to thousands just as well as I could preach to 2 or 3. You know, I used to pastor a church. I used to preach on the radio, and it didn't matter if there was 1,000. It didn't matter if it was 2 or 3. It was the same spirit. But you know, with the last 2 years, it's kind of physically drained me, and you know, I went from pretty much having everything to having nothing. And you know, I was going to give up, and I was just going to quit and take a back seat to everything. But God kept on dealing with me, and you know, God kept on saying that, you know, the same God when I was 21 is the same God today, and that God can do it again. That same God who stood there and told me, and all the visions, and you know, all night tonight, every time I close my eyes, every time I would start to pray, I don't know exactly what it means, but you know, I could shut my eyes and I could see like sparkly diamonds or something, and then whenever, because I've had several visions and several things, and you know, I closed it again another time, and there was like this shut door with darkness, and all you could see was just eyes pointing out at you. But you know, God's wanting greater things in my life, and the darkness, that's what it's going to be. That's the past. You know, that all the devil took from me, all the devil stole from me, God's wanting to give it back 100-fold. And you know, I'm holding on faith, because today there was a prayer that was answered, and it was just right on time. You know, God told me today that restoration is the key. Restoration is the key to each and everything. He said, whatever you desire, ask in His name, and He shall receive. He said, seeking He shall find, knocking the door shall be open. He said, do unto others that you'd have them do unto you. You know, people come against you all, each and every day. You're persecuted for His name's sake. You know, there's rumors being started that, you know, they know is a lie, but they're doing it anyways to try to destroy. But, you know, I'm standing fast on the Word of God, and I'm not going to look back, and I'm not going to stand still. But I'm going to just look for God, and, you know, today was a day of restoration, and today is a day of restoration for a lot of other people too. If you've been struggling, and if you feel like you ain't got a friend, just call upon Jesus and He'll be there. There's a song that the chorus I used to sing all the time, Amazing Love, How Can It Be? Amazing love, How can it be? For the Lord thy God, which comforts me. Amazing love. How can it be? For the Lord thy God, which comforts me. His amazing love will comfort you for each and everything. His amazing love will bring you through storms, will bring you through trials, if you just put your faith and trust in Him. His amazing love is greater than anything that this world has to offer. You know, don't look to what your circumstance is right now, but look to what it's going to be in the future. You know, you may be like I was. You may be in that battle of decision. You may be at that crossroads in your life. You may be at that trial of your faith, though, being tried more precious than gold. But you just look to the forward. Don't look back. Don't be like Lot's wife and turn into a pillar of salt. But keep your eye on the prize, and that prize is God. And I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to do a second part here in just a second.